Good evening, everyone. Today I am going to give a gist on the module 1, that is personal development and behavioral skills, that was covered under the Sampurna Personality Development Training Program, which was started from 15th July 2020. I am Dr. Pooja Valanawar. I am working as an assistant professor at College of Agriculture, Hassan, UAS Bangalore. So firstly, we'll start with the first session, that was on personal grooming. Personal grooming is very important because it is the thing which impacts others. So personal grooming includes both our inner self as well as outer self, so that it gives a positive idea about ourselves, and also it brings about a positive change in our life. So one's persona can be polished, can be enhanced, and can be developed or refined by personal grooming. So personal grooming involves the first impression. So the first impression is the best impression that we have on someone. Maybe it is a stranger. So what first impression they have about us? So when they look at us, the first impression that they have is our outer self. So the outer self should be very presentable. We should have a neatly combed hair, neatly tied hair. We should have a good presentable clothing. The iron clothing should be used. We should not have any body odor. The tone of voice that we speak, it should be confident enough. It should be soft and friendly tone of voice. Then the body language should be such that we should talk with eye contact with them, and we should have a good facial expression, because since face is the window of our soul, we should have a good facial expression when we meet them, and also the posture of our body should be correct, so that it will have a good impression on them, as the first impression is the best impression. So the personal grooming and clothing for men and women is very important, because the first impression will be by the outer self. So we have to modify our outer self, or we should keep our outer self such that it will have an impact on others, and they will get attracted towards us. And the inner self is also very important. That is, the inner self includes the body language, the facial expression, which comes from inside. So it cannot be made up, or it cannot be very artificial. We have to be natural, so that will show in our behavior. So personal grooming is a very important skill or personality trait which is necessary. And the next personality trait which they covered is the self-esteem. So self-esteem is the judgment that we have about ourselves. It is how we see ourselves. So the self-esteem is very important, because it is the second highest need after self-actualization. Self-actualization is the highest need in a human being, because once we are self-actualized, we know what we are, we know our worth, we have realized our genetic potential, and also we have realized our the value of our life. So that is the self-actualization, and the self-esteem comes just below self-actualization. So by this we can know how important is the self-esteem in our life. So we have to have a good self-esteem. We should think that we are not less than anyone. We are having all the traits that are needed to be a good human being, and also to be successful in life as well as career. So self-esteem, if we have a self-esteem, then we have to reduce the self-esteem. So the self-esteem can be if we have a low self-esteem, then how we have to improve the self-esteem? It can be improved by reducing the negative self-talk and increasing the positive self-talk. So self-talk is something that we do to ourselves. So we have to reduce the negative self-talk and talk about the positive things and also positive aspects. We should give more attention to the positive aspects of our personality and not on the negative aspects. We should focus less on the negative things, and we have to relax, set goals for ourselves, accept ourselves as we are, because some things they cannot be changed. So when certain things cannot be changed in ourselves, we have to accept as we are, because every individual has their own characters, own personality traits. Since personality traits are sometimes they are genetic also, we can't modify them much. So as much as possible, we have to be confident in our shoes, confident about ourselves, and also present ourselves with high self-esteem. We should not feel inferiority, or we should not feel less than anyone. And we have to exercise regularly, meditate regularly, so that it will calm us down. So such is the importance of self-esteem. So the next topic is on the self-confidence. So self-confidence is a very important personality trait in our life. So self-confidence is required everywhere, in every area, in every career life as well as personal life. We need self-confidence, and self-confidence if we are however educated, however learned we are, if we don't have self-confidence, then we are missing out on a major personality trait, right? Because we speak to so many people, especially in the career. We have to face so many people, we have to speak to so many people. We should be presentable, whatever we speak, we should be speaking in confidence. So that will have a major influence on others. And even if we are talking right, and if we are not talking it with confidence, then the people to whom we are talking, they will not accept our views or ideas. Only when we tell with force whatever we are saying, then the people around us will feel that we are giving a right message. Otherwise, if we are low in confidence, our message will not be well received. So that is I want to tell about building the self-confidence. It is very, very important personality trait. The next is stress management. So stress management is very important, because the stress will not only have the impact on our emotions, it will also have an impact on our health, it will have an impact on our relationship, it will have an impact on our day-to-day activities. So stress is the body's reaction to the threats or events or situations in life. So these are called as the stressors. The threats that we face are called as the stressors. So there are different types of stressors which we are facing in our day-to-day life. It may be family stressors, relationship stressors, work stressors, financial stressors, health stressors. So there are different types of stressors, or the real or imagined events which are leading to stress. So the stress can be positive or negative. So positive stress is nothing but any activity when we are starting or when we are doing, we face some amount of stress, and that is required, because to do well in any activity, a small amount of stress is required. Then only we can do it with 100% confidence and with good effort. If there is no stress, we may not put so much effort. So some amount of stress is required, but if the stress is too much, then it is a negative stress. Because when it becomes a negative stress, when the stress will start having effect on our emotions, when the stress will start having effect on our bodily health, maybe increase, for example, increase in the heart rate, increase in the pulse rate, increase in the BP, increase in the sweating, or bodily pains which are not due to any physical exertion, but due to the mental exertion or due to the stress. So when it starts having the effect on our body as well as the emotions, then it is a negative stress. So positive stress is good, but negative stress is bad for our physical as well as mental health. So the stress management techniques have to be followed to reduce the stress that we are facing. So the different type of stress management techniques include involving in our hobbies, maybe painting, drawing, singing, dancing, anything that makes us happy, and then regular exercising, then meditation, relaxation techniques, talking to someone that we love, and then helping someone out who are in the difficulty. So there are different types of stress management techniques which are categorized under action-oriented, emotion-oriented, and acceptance-oriented techniques. So action-oriented techniques involve we should do something to reduce the stress that we are facing. So they are the action-oriented techniques. And then the emotion oriented techniques are those where we have to change the perception of the stressor, or the perception about the stressful situation has to be changed. That is known as the emotion oriented stressor. And the acceptance oriented stressor, some situations or some adversities which have happened, we cannot change them, so the stress is bound to happen, so we have to accept the situation that we don't have any role in it, we can't change it, so the stress level can be reduced by acceptance. So the acceptance oriented techniques involve meditation, exercising, and then talking to a friend, laughing it out, so that we'll forget the stressful situation and try to accept it as it is. So the stress management of stress is very important for our physical and emotional well-being. And last is the anger management. So anger and anger management is also an important topic. Anger, we all have some amount of anger in us, and we tend to react in certain situations which trigger us. So if it is bringing out some solution, then becoming angry is good. But if it is positive, and if it is not bringing out any solution, and if it is leading to much more aggression and outburst and hatredness, jealousy, then such anger is negative. So we have to control such anger. Only if it is going to bring some solutions to the problem, then only the anger is said to be positive. And so anger also has a very negative impact on our body as well as on the mind. So the effects of anger include physical effects, mental effects, it affects our relationship, it affects our career. So in all the field, the patience is very important. If we lose our patience, and if we start showing our anger on anyone without any control, without any limit, then we lose our relationship, we lose our importance in our career, or with our colleagues, we'll have a big showdown with our colleagues if we go on showing our anger the way however we want. And then the physical and mental also effects will be seen, like physical effects, as I told, increase in the BP, heart rate, pulse rate is observed, and also different metabolic disorders also may occur because of the increased amount of anger, like diabetes and heart disease, coronary heart disease, and all also are very much attached to the anger. So anger management is very important. And emotional effects also occur, like the shivering, and then sweating, and then various amount of emotions keep flowing which we can't control. So to avoid these effects of anger, the anger management techniques are to be followed. And the anger management techniques include doing a countdown, that is counting from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1, and then walking around in fresh air, doing regular exercises, relaxing our muscles, playing with children or playing with our age mates, and then talking to a close friend, laughing it out, meditation, and involving in our most loved hobbies, like I explained, either painting or drawing or whichever thing makes us happy. So that these techniques will help in reducing our anger. So these are the topics which were covered under the first session or first module of the Sampurna Personality Development Program. Thank you.